And good afternoon, everyone. There's no fog. The only thing you hear is the freeway. And we can't do anything about that. That because of the VFW and what it meant to this community, having been the home of the NAACP, the home of the Local 516, the home of the VFW, the home of the Young Brothers Barber Shop, the home of a sweet shop, a place where people could gather and enjoy themselves. We decided to have the funeral for the VFW. A funeral complete with a complete service, people speaking on behalf of the VFW, and we thought that maybe 4 or 5 people would show up. And it was just like it is today. People who remember the VFW came. And we had a wonderful ceremony right down there at Brooks Funeral Home. And then after the ceremony was over, we all marched up here. And we surrounded the VFW holding hands. And we had maybe a bottle of this and a bottle of that. And the idea was to put a little bit of this and that into your Dixie cup, and in honor of our ancestors, pour it on the ground. Except the ground stayed dry. And the libation went into the people. And as a result, halfway through, we said, we're going to build something here. We're going to do something with this space. We're going to make this space believable again. And the next morning when Commissioner Carter called, she said, when are you going to get started? And I said, get started with what? She said, building something new at the VFW. And that was the beginning. That was 2019. It took us almost 3 years to raise the money. And then in 2018, this spot, this Rondo Commemorative Plaza, was dedicated as the first public park in the United States dedicated to a community that was destroyed by a freeway. Yes, please. We're the first of its kind. And as a result of that building that foundation, we're able to talk about now the future of Rondo. This place is dedicated to the past of Rondo. Here's the Rondo Commemorative Center. We collect. We have a marker behind you when you take a look at it. It's 30 feet high. It's supposed to be seen from the freeway, but back in 2013, there weren't any trees. It's covered now. But the light comes on, and you always will know where Rondo is located. We have the panels that tell the story of Rondo. We have a history walk, which is the important reason why you're here today. We have almost 1,000 bricks over there. And thanks to each of you over the years, you have purchased a brick. And on that brick, you have left a memory. You've left the name of a loved one, your family members, your address, an event, something about the Rondo community, from family, from friends of Rondo. And today, this is our 5th anniversary? 8th anniversary. We've been doing this. So on behalf of our staff and everyone who's here today, I want to thank you. This is the largest crowd that we have had. And we're so happy that you're here today. And we're going to have something from each of you who have purchased a brick to come up and say a word. So we want to get started. I know Dr. Roxy is here. Dr. Roxy Smith. Dr. Roxy Smith is a centenarian. At the age of 100 years old, anyone who's 100 years old gets a free brick here in the plaza. So as I look out, a lot of you have many years to go before you get there. But Dr. Roxy Smith is one today, and Mrs. Pearl Mitchell is the other centenarian. And I like to call them forward here because I know Dr. Smith needs to go. So if you bring her forward, they're going to say a few words. While they're coming here, let me say that thanks to Jerome and Shanae, this ceremony is being live streamed on our YouTube channel. So that's a new development that we have, and we're very, very happy with it. Pearl, you want to come in first? Miss Pearl Mitchell.
It's an honor to be here and to have arrived at age 100. And one of the things that has helped me to probably reach this age is I have found that travel overcomes prejudice, it overcomes intolerance and hatred and narrow-mindedness. We must see in each other a way to become one. We can become friends, we can work for peace, and we all can work for tolerance.
Pearl Mitchell, centenarian. Your brick is in place, and we want to take a picture with you over your brick in a minute.
Yes.
Our next centenarian is Dr. Roxy Smith.
There you go.
Hello! It is wonderful to see all of you. Some I know their names and some I don't. But God bless all of you. Thank you for being here. And I thank God for allowing me to be here. Glory to his name. Glory to his name. We come this far by faith. Just trusting in the Lord. And he keeps me going day by day. And I want to thank each of you. Some I know names and some I don't. Some I used to work with. Hallelujah. Some I've been given a bad time also. But it's good to see you. It's good to show that you show so much love. And that's what life is about. Love ye one another, because the man upstairs loves us and he wants us to love one another. I'm not going to preach, Pastor, but I'm thankful to be here, and I'm going to sit down so somebody else can have something to say, because I could talk a long time.
I'm just going to, my name is Reverend Jackie Smith, and I'm Roxy's daughter. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Mother's history, especially as it relates to Rondo. Mother, Roxy Smith, moved here to St. Paul, Minnesota in 1948 by way of East St. Louis from Mississippi with her husband, Reverend Silas Smith. I'm having trouble here. I'm trying to get. Well, Reverend Roxy Smith moved here from St. Louis from Mississippi by way of East St. Louis. She has first lived at 2022 Rondo, which was near downtown St. Paul. They later bought a house on 470 Fuller, which was in the Rondo district. I marked those areas by Mount Olivet Baptist Church, Overboys Club, Hallie Q. Brown, and Jimmy Lee. Those were the spaces that we were allowed to be in. Mother first started working at Anchor Hospital in St. Paul, where she became a packer for polio patients. She then later became at Anchor a nurse's aide. Anchor closed down and became Ramsey. It became Ramsey, where she became a nurse's aide. Ramsey did a contract with Maxfield High School called the Well Baby Clinic, where pregnant mothers that were in school could attend school while having their child taken care of. Later, Anchor closed down, and they built a hospital named named Ramsey. And Ramsey did a contract with Maxfield High School to do the Well Baby Clinic. Maxfield closed down, and Central High School got the contract for the Well Baby Clinic, where she stayed on as a nurse's aide and doctor's aide. She retired from there and went back to school, or continued school actually, and got her doctoral degree in theology. Mother continues to work with young, upcoming ministers with her wisdom and her grace. I am so thankful to God that she is still here with us. 100 years.
And one final treat, the granddaughter of Dr. Smith has a proclamation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll take my glasses off to read it. All right. So, whereas Reverend Dr. Roxy T. Smith, a trailblazing African-American leader, will celebrate her 100th birthday on October 13, 2025, marking a century of life and decades of tireless dedication and selfless service to the people of Minnesota. And whereas in 1952, Roxy began her distinguished career, which we just heard a bit about, as a polio hot pack administrator at Anchor Hospital, a profession she pursued for 39 years before retiring in 1991 from St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center. And whereas Roxy was a pioneering force in the Health Start Clinic at Mechanic Arts, Como, and Central High Schools, among the nation's first school-based clinics, where she nurtured and supported more than 8,000 students by providing health care, comfort, and guidance, serving as an inspiring role model for minority students. And whereas her commitment to public health extended beyond her professional career, as she co-facilitated the Circle of Love, a vital support group for African Americans living with HIV/AIDS, and in recognition of this essential work, she received the Minneapolis Urban League's Volunteer Service Award in 1993. And whereas together with her late husband, Silas Smith, she demonstrated tremendous courage by moving to the Gladstone community in Maplewood during the 1950s, a time of racial covenants and systemic discrimination. And in 1962, they built a home there, leaving a lasting legacy that helped pave the way for a more diverse and welcoming community. And whereas Roxy's unwavering faith and leadership have been a constant presence in her community, from her early service as president of the Young Women's Auxiliary at Mount Olivet Baptist Church, to her later work as a chaplain at Regents Hospital. Now, therefore, I, Tim Walls, of course, I'm not Tim Walls, just make believe, Governor of Minnesota, do hereby proclaim Monday, October 13th, 2025, as Reverend Dr. Roxy T. Smith Day.
Thank you so much. And their bricks are here. Please get a chance to see them. And if they stay here, get a chance to say hello to them. It would be great. I started by telling you what happened in 2013 here at the site of the VFW. Now we're going to begin the program with what was here before the VFW. Now we're talking 1934. And in 1934, this was the site of McGill's grocery store. Those of you who grew up in Rondo, I'm sure you would have had a chance to stop at McGill's for something to eat, or something to buy, something to drink, some candy to buy. And we're so happy to have here today the son of the McGills, the grandson of the McGills, Mr. Tom Kusterman, and his wife, Sandy. Would you come forward, please?
Thank you, Marvin. Thank you, Marvin. It's a little intimidating following this group. Everyone's got tremendous stories and tremendous images of what went on in the years, and it's just a shame that that can't be perpetuated across all of America, in this particular Rondo area. And it's incredible because honestly, I've heard some of these stories, but not all of them. And it's something that we need to look at to send that message across to people. I was born on this property, right near the big tree that's out there right now. And my grandfather started a business called Emmett's, started a business named McGill's Grocery Store. I think some of you may have remembered that. I hope that's the case. I grew up in this area as a child. I lived above the store, and my grandparents, my family lived there, and went to St. Peter Claver School. I had many, many friends in the neighborhood. I had many fond memories of Rondo and the community and the openness that they had and how people would just go with each other and not have any problems, and it was really wonderful to see. The real highlight of our year as kids was when the Minneapolis Millers baseball team came to town. And we as St. Paul Saints versus people that we knew the emotion that went on with that, and it was very enjoyable. Later on in life, as I grew up, and one day I came by the Rondo area, and I saw a plaque out there, and it was a for sale sign for the property, and that was news to me, and because I hadn't been in this area in quite a while, and it was really interesting and kind of frightful to see what was going to go on here, what was going to happen in this community, because to me this community deserved to be in a special place. And I called, I spoke to some neighborhood people who were walking around, and they gave me the name of Marvin, help me out, Marvin. And I got to know Marvin very well. You can see it's been years ago because I've had a little bit of deterioration up here. Marvin told me that he wanted to meet me and speak about and find out about what I knew about Rondo, and I wanted to find out what he was planning on doing in this area. And Rondo became a real place in my heart as well. It always was. But to find someone who was dedicated and emotional about the area, as Marvin was a real treat. And I'm very, very fortunate to call Marvin a very good friend of mine today. And I want to encourage everyone who is here tonight to just take a minute, maybe stand up if able, and give Marvin a hand, because he's just given so much of his life to the plaza, and it wouldn't be anything at all without him there. So, Marvin.
Oh, definitely. That's Tom. Sandy, would you stand up for a minute, please? That's his wife, Sandy. And Tom and Sandy have pledged to purchase every brick for somebody who's 100 years old. They've given us $1,000 to start the fund, so every brick in the future will be purchased by the customers. All right, now we're going to get started. We're going to go right down the list. So if you have your program, if you see your name, we're going to go across the top. You may want to come forward so that you can have your remarks being made. W. Montgomery is unable to be here today. And De La Salle is not. Is there somebody here representing the Ruth Wilson Mary Anderson family? Would you come forward, please?
Good afternoon. Hello, I'm here. My name is Gretchen King. I'm here representing Mary Anderson, my mother. So, good afternoon. Like I said, I'm Gretchen King. I'm the youngest of three girls. And it's an honor to recognize my mother. She's a generational warrior. She's right there with the lovely gray hair. Wave, mother. She's a generational warrior, born in Inverness, Mississippi. Her story began, like many others, during the Great Northern Migration. And yet she landed here in Rondo. It's here that she built her life and continues to make her mark on everyone she encounters. And actually, she told me just now that she worked at the grocery store, McGill's, yeah, when she was 10 years old, selling penny candy. They allowed her to do that, so that was new. Don't look that old. She's growing up, all of our family gatherings for Christmas to the 4th of July were held right here from Ashland to Eaglehart. We call them our big houses. Being the youngest, as far as I know, we were all able to stay together in spite of any and all outside forces that attempted but couldn't break our sense of community. Definitely not our family or our love. My grandma's picture is here. It's further down there. Her name was Mrs. Emma Redmond, as well as my mother's. Her name is Mary Lee Redmond. Now it's Anderson. And her brick states, she's number 8. It states our love and joy, strength, and light. She didn't notice it, but you know, we snuck that in on you. See, our family didn't just live here. They left a mark. And now, today, her mark is carved into the foundation she helped shape. This is such a beautiful and humbling way to remember, commemorate, and honor our family. In that vein, and in tandem, we will be celebrating her 80 years of family strength and love, which also has aligned with her community impacts, of course. Some of you may recall the Aquarians or Zodiacs and the Nights in Las Vegas productions. Any of you guys remember any of that? No? Not at all? Okay. Well, I remember because it was a big production. You remember? Yeah, it was fun times. I remember growing up in the practices and everything. Also, she was the first chair of Botillion because I roped her into joining Jack and Jill. You guys remember Jack and Jill? Yeah? Okay, I talked her into doing that one. She's a Mount Olivet Missionary Baptist Church lifer and was even recently asked to be the VP for the Golden Agers. She graciously declined, even though we encouraged it. But the point is, she's so fun, loving, and a light for all, and is still that woman. I could go on, but she wouldn't like that. We just love you, Mama and Granny. The names on each of these stones we know share more than stories. They honor legacies. Today, we, my family and I, are here in person and virtually, thanks to YouTube, from Texas, Atlanta, and beyond, to honor the legacy you have blessed us and all of our family and community with over the years. You, Mom, are Rondo, and we thank you. Love you.
Take a moment to recognize Dr. Jim Hart, who's on our board of directors. Jim, thank you for stopping by. Dolly Prim, is there someone here from the Dolly Prim family? Now we're going to go to the Carragher family, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and 16. Is someone here to speak on behalf of the Carragher family? Please, would you come? Please come forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Geneva Harper Gill. I grew up in St. Paul, Minnesota. My mother was born and raised here. And the names that he mentioned are me and my first cousins. Last year, we had the honor of putting bricks in for our grandparents and our parents. And one of my cousins said, well, let's add our names while there's space. So, love St. Paul, don't live here right now, and I miss it. When I come home, I just feel the love and the warmth, and it's an honor, a privilege to have been raised by a community that loved and took care and raised all of us. And I don't have much else to say, but just thank you, and I thank Roger for having this beautiful plaza for us to honor our past and look to our future, and not forget where we came from. And that's really important. So thank you.
Geneva's shy. Last year, she organized a luncheon for all Rondo women over the age of 90. And there was a full house of women over 90, and their bricks are in the ground thanks to Geneva. I think we had 18 bricks. Geneva organized that last year. And now I think the total number of bricks you guys have over there is getting close to 20. So thank you for supporting this program. Jimmy Ellis, number 18. Is there someone here from the Jimmy Ellis family? Dr. Roxy Smith. The Vulcans were here. Are you here? Please come forward. Come forward.
Jimmy Ellis was my uncle. My family grew up in the Rondo. We're also part of the Booker T restaurant. So I'm just here to stand up and let you guys know who I am. I am part of the Ellis family. I was not prepared, so I'm kind of a little shy. So I just had to get up and say something for my uncle. Rest in peace, Uncle Jimmy.
A lot of us remember Booker T's. The McGills have spoken on behalf of Emmett and Evelyn McGill, the grocery store. Number 23, the Lyles family. Ronaldo, is he here? Here he comes. Thank you. Nobody told me after 60 you have like 5 or 6 specialty pairs of glasses. So they forgot to tell me about that. As Mrs. Anderson said, I'm Jeffrey Lyles. Everybody knows me as Jeffrey, so if you hear somebody call me Ronaldo, it's business related, and I probably don't want to talk to you at this time of day, but if you call me Jeffrey, that's my neighborhood name here. So just wanted to try to, I didn't come with a prepared speech or anything, but I do want to try to follow the 3 B's of speaking to our community. And if you're old school, you remember what those are. Be bold, be brief, and be gone. So I sometimes struggle with that middle one, as my daughter will tell you, and I'm going to embarrass them. I have my daughter and my older sister, Cheryl, back there. So stand up and wave. Come on. And we grew up on Eaglehart, and so I had St. Paul Central bracketing one end and the Martin Luther King Center bracketing the other end. I grew up wishing to be quarterback at St. Paul Central. I was able to fulfill that dream. I went on and played football at the College of St. Thomas before transferring to the Ohio State, and I have to say it that way, or otherwise I'd lose my alumni card. So, and I want to say that because that success translated into me building an IT company that I've had for over 20 years. And I share that with you because everyone sitting here is part of that success. As my elder, you are part of that success that had propelled me forward to be able to make those accomplishments. So please give yourself a round of applause. The last thing I wanted to say is that these bricks, and I don't know if Mr. Anderson already knows this, but there is a symbolism of taking a brick, placing it in the ground like a seed, like all of our ancestors did when they came to this land and planted seeds in the ground. And the reason that we planted those seeds is to honor our past and hope that they sprout into something great for our future. And that is the hope that Mr. Anderson has put before all of us by putting these bricks in the ground. So once again, I thank you very much. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you. Appreciate it. St. James AMG Church. When I began today, I told you I was here for 2013 when we began, and now it's 2025. It's been an honor for me to be involved with the Rondo community now going on almost 50 years. From the Rondo Day parades, remember Rondo Days, the Rondo Commemorative Plaza, and the Rondo Center of Diverse Expression. It has consumed me. It has given me much joy to see people come back home and enjoy moving and living in Rondo. My wife back there, Gloria, will tell you that she's not from here, but she's bred right now from me, deep into the history of the Rondo community, and I thank her for all of her support over the years. I say this because this has been a very, very special ceremony for me, and it's my last ceremony. And I want to announce that I will be retiring as the executive director of the Rondo Commemorative Plaza and the Rondo Center. And the reason that I'm doing it now, because this next gentleman is our new director, and he's going to say something about the Spirit of Rondo Awards, since he's been involved for the last 3 months during this transition. So please join me in welcoming the new executive director of the Rondo Commemorative Plaza and the Rondo Center of Diverse Expression, Mr. Jonathan Palmer. Pretty quick. Good afternoon. Some of you may know me from my years leading Hallie Key Brown Community Center for 15 years, and some of you may be meeting me for the first time. Those are big shoes to fill. I've known Marvin for 30 years. Since I moved to Minnesota, he has been a friend, a mentor, and somebody that I've always looked to for guidance as both a fellow Morehouse man and a gentleman of the Rondo community. So it is an honor for me to be able to carry the torch forward and never replace Marvin, but instead carry on the legacy and continue the work. This year in Juneteenth, we gave out our Rondo Achievement Awards. I think we have at least one person from that that we can bring up to just say a few words. Is Raquette back here someplace? Raquette, come on. This is one of our winners. The Rondo Achievement Awards recognize different people who have committed to the Rondo community, have served it well, and represented the principles and the spirit of Rondo. And so first up, I want to welcome Raquette from In Black Ink.
Good afternoon. First, I want to say thank you to Elder Marvin Anderson, because he has been a mentor to a lot of us in this entire community. I'm a transplant, came here about 30 years ago for graduate school, so I am so honored to be embraced by this community. This is where my husband was born and raised. His family, for about I want to say going back to the late 1800s, he resided here in Minnesota, and then mid 20s, 1920s here in Rondo. So I'm honored to just be able to accept the Heart and Soul Award. It meant the world to us. In Black Ink started in 2018. We were looking at memory work, really looking to see how can we honor those people, those spirits, those events that has created a community that actually raise and nurture our people. And that's what Rondo has been. And so when we were selected for the Heart and Soul Award, we were really honored because we've been around just for a little while, but we really try to capture the stories of our people in this community across the state, actually. Audio, video, making sure that these stories make it into publications, making sure that they make it to our classrooms so that our children know, the centennials, they know your story, so that they know that the things that we've done in the past is not just something that's gone, but something that's going to propel us into the future. So really honored. Thank you, Jonathan. It's really it's a privilege to see you move over to this space and take on this work, because this is vital work. And we really appreciate it, honored and thankful. And Rondo is an example across the nation. Coming from New York, everyone across the nation is looking at Rondo in terms of the work that has been done here, the way in which the honoring of our people's knowledge and information has surfaced here. And so I feel like we have a lot to be proud of. So thank you, and honored.
And just to give you who the other award winners, one of the foundation award went to ReConnect Rondo. They could not be here, but they're actually supporting us. So the people who are live streaming this for us is ReConnect Rondo. So they won the foundation award, an organization that is a part of the community, helps to support and make sure that the needs of the community, the spirit of the community rises. Also, we had the Pillar of the Community, which goes to an elder. That went to Norman Speed Rollins. Speed, as he is affectionately known to many, but there we go. See? Speed is one of my favorite people from Rondo, and probably one of the most legendary people from Rondo. He was one of the founders and ran the Turtle Club, which is home of the largest police raid in St. Paul history. 206 people were arrested. It's a very interesting story because a lot of the white clubs were not raided, but the black club in the community was raided. So there's an interesting story behind that, but Speed is always dapper. Speed always has a great spirit. Unless the spirit of the Spirit of Rondo Award went to Governor Tim Walz, who also could not be here today. He has been a very strong supporter of the Rondo Commemorative Plaza, of the work that our code does, and just of the Rondo community. He is there when we need him, has championed the plaza and other events, and he is somebody that we really appreciate. And when we did the Juneteenth, it was just days after the assassination of Melissa Hortman and her husband. But he still came. He still showed up, even though he was dealing with all of that in the pain. So he is somebody that we honor. I'm getting ready to, I want you to know, Marvin is not going to be gone. He is staying on his chair of the board. And if you have ever known Marvin, you know if Rondo is in it, Marvin is involved. And even though he retires, somehow he gets back into a project. I hope Gloria's not mad at me for saying this, but Marvin always is there because his heart and his soul is in this work. And I can think of nobody I would rather follow and carry the torch with than him. So, Marvin Anderson.
Right? Pearl Jackson, you've already it's already spoken. Adriel Dees, Terry and Sue's Day family. Is somebody here for the Day family? Are you here for her? Oh, Ariel, you want to come up here, please? I didn't. Andrea, come here. I didn't. Okay. Call me Dan, right? Come on up here.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good. Okay, I feel like truly a circle in a square peg, but I'm very honored to be here today. My name is Andrea Dees, and I used to work as Vice Chancellor for Equity and Inclusion at Minnesota State Colleges and Universities, and just recently left, and my team bought a brick as my going away present. So I was so amazed and shocked. And at first I thought it was by accident, but nothing ever is an accident. God never makes accidents and has a way of connecting dots. And yesterday I was at the homegoing service at Pilgrim for Jean Watson, the mother of Tanya and Tracy Bransford. And it hit me how much Rondo has enveloped me and St. Paul has enveloped me when I came to law school here 34 years ago at William Mitchell. Pilgrim became my church home and was my home for many years. And that's where my husband, Mike Dees, courted me. And we got engaged and our children were baptized at Pilgrim. And originally I'm from Gary, Indiana. So when I came here to St. Paul, it was a culture shock a little bit, but Rondo felt like home. And it still feels like home. And I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of my team, my former team at Minnesota State, Priyank Shah, Kai Yang, Desiree Clark, Karan G. Kang, and Ashley Atterbury. As you know, DEI is under attack again. And just like Rondo, we will rise again and persevere. Thank you so much.
The Bowie family. The Bowie family has 2 bricks. They are the sisters of Arnella Allen. Arnella's on. Are they here? Okay. Here she comes. I can some. Come on.
I was here last time. Oh my God. Hello. Yeah, I did. Thank you. How's everybody? Good. What? Thank you. All right. So now he's gonna put it all out there. It's Arnella. Yeah, my mom and Arnella were sisters. And they're both gone. We miss them terribly. But my mom and dad came here, and I think I'm not going to tell my age, but I was only 6 months when they came to Minnesota. And they came from the Mississippi. They migrated up. And so when they started their trip here to Minnesota, they started on Carroll and Dale down there. And then they finally edged their way on up here on Fuller and Chatsworth, and they purchased their home. And we stayed there until 2018. And all the family migrated with us, I think, most of them. And if they didn't migrate here with us, they always came to our house for love, food, and celebrate everything. Christmas, funerals, happy, sad. We just did everything together right there, over there on Fuller. And then, as you know, I never purchased the bar right around the corner. So that made it even more convenient for the families to get together. And I want to say thank you for putting this all together. It's amazing. And I appreciate it. And I'm going to come back and see it again. Thank you.
To mention Booker T's and Arnella's Allen in the same afternoon, that's quite, for those, not all of you remember them like I do, but they were two fine institutions. All right. We have a special treat here before we move on with the program and unveil the bricks. Council person Anika Bowie is here, and she would like to greet the crowd and say a few words. So, council person, if you could come forward, please.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Mr. Anderson, I just want to say before everyone, you have such broad shoulders to stand on. And we are just so deeply honored of your vision, your leadership, your vision to create opportunity for us to preserve not only our history, our legacy, but to speak up when it comes to our family members and speak life into the future to where our history isn't just something to be on display, but our history is living to ensure that we're investing in our community. I am Anika Bowie. I recently just got married, so Anika Bowie Lundy. And I come from a family that's been in Rondo, lived in Rondo for over 100 years. And I just, I wasn't prepared to talk about family because, as a council member, I wanted to just be able to greet everyone. But I'm just so honored and proud to hear that Miss Arnella's my great aunt, who was my shero, my role model, is being recognized in this plaza today. So thank you for sharing that. Also, when you have family that's lived in St. Paul for 100 years, you find out that you meet a new cousin every single day. So go to the grocery stores. So you have to be really careful. Or I had to be really careful in high school who I was dating because, I might have dated my cousin. So I represent Rondo officially, but truly Rondo represents me. And this district is not just a ward that I represent. It is truly my bloodline. And this land holds footsteps of my family who lived here, who served here, and who built a legacy here. And actually, right here on these very grounds is where my bonus grandmother, Ann Bowie, was a chef, a cook here at VFW. And I think about just the legacy that she had built. She had left, feeding a community, growing a community, loving a community. And right here, and I know Mr. Anderson, he hears this story every single time I'm here to speak, is where my after-school program was. Back in the day, the after-school programs were your family members. And my bus stop was just 1 block away. And my parents had told me when I leave from school, go right to the VFW. So I always have some chicken and some Laurie seasoned fries every single day after school. And I just think about, being that little girl that people remembered in the community, stacking those groceries. My parents owned a grocery store, so they bought the Tillman's Market on Selby Avenue. And how, you never know what investments look like until you have leadership on the council. So today is about the bricks. But it's not just only about the bricks beneath our feet, it's about the people who laid them. And here today, we learned about the grandmothers who had opened their homes to the entire community. We learned about the barbers and the teachers and entrepreneurs who have built something out of nothing. We learned about the people who laid bricks, who have faced racism, redlining, surveillance, displacement, and still, in spite of, found beauty, created legacy, community, culture, and connections. Every single brick here comes with a story, a name, and a sacrifice. And when the freeway came through and tried to break this community, we did not disappear. We became even more rooted and resilient. What they used as stones, we had replaced and invested as bricks to build our legacy. And what this plaza represents, not what was taken, but what will forever be remembered. This is Rondo's declaration that we are still here. And every brick counts. Let this plaza remind us that we don't just stand on history, we are actively shaping our future. And again, I just want to thank all of you for making sure that this legacy continues. Thank you for being continuing to invest not only in our leadership, but thank you, Marvin Anderson, for passing on the torch. As someone who's young as me, it's so important that we see models, role models, that's carrying on the legacy and making sure that we have that intergenerational relationship. So it's not just Rondo for today, but we need to plan and invest in Rondo for forever. Thank you.
Back in the early 70s, I was working at the University of Minnesota Law School. And I was working my way up to the Minnesota State Law Librarianship. And I was working as a reference librarian there. And I remember this young woman would come by time to time, and we just struck up a conversation and talked about different things. She was studying journalism at the University of Minnesota. And I've had the great fortune of reconnecting with Leslie Martin not too long ago. And I was telling her about the Rondo Plaza. I told her about the Rondo Plaza back in the 70s, and she remembered it. And she's gone on to have a magnificent career as an editor and as a writer and as a purchaser of a brick here in the Rondo Commemorative Plaza. So Leslie, if you come forward and tell us about your brick, that'd be great.
Good afternoon. I know the 3 Bs, by the way. So a long time ago, this Ohioan came to Minnesota for graduate school, and I had a brilliant professor who believed that it was essential for journalism students studying communication law to know how to make their way around a law library. So one day, my classmates and I show up in the law library to take a tour. What a treat we were in for. There was this law librarian who was beyond extraordinarily knowledgeable and welcoming. He was beyond enthusiastic, beyond passionate, and was an inspiration to all of us. And by now, of course, you know that that librarian was Marvin Roger Anderson. And I spent many, many hours in that library, and he is the one who told me about Rondo. I wasn't from Minnesota, and the stories moved me deeply. Now I'm going to cry. I'm a very emotional person, and I don't apologize for it. And the injustice of it stayed with me since. And as happens in life, Marvin and I lost touch with each other until quite recently. And we met at the Golden Time Cafe, talked for hours, and then he told me about the bricks. I said, I'm buying a brick. What am I going to say on the brick? Well, Marvin had also told me about the bonds between the Black community and the Jewish community back in the day. And that resonated with me deeply as a Jewish person. And the first thought that came to my mind was l'chaim, to life. Chaim, chai in Hebrew is life. And that's why I chose those words for the brick. It's to honor the life of Rondo that was, the Rondo that is today with all the powerful, wonderful things happening here, and the Rondo that will be in the future. And I feel so privileged to be among you here today. L'chaim Rondo. Marvin asked me to introduce my husband, Fred Hausler, and my sister-in-law, Debbie Hausler, who are with me here today.
Okay, so we have just one more presentation, one more remarks, and then we're going to have all of you come and look at the bricks. Take a picture there and stand over your brick, gather. I think it's a really nice occasion, and it's so warming and inspiring to see everybody admiring their bricks along with all of the other ones. There is a special treat about these bricks that you're going to take home today, thanks to a young man who is named Jonah Zimmer. Jonah Zimmer is at Macalester College, and he's a student in, come here, talking about it. He's done something on our behalf, and you're going to be amazed by what he's accomplished.
Hi, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I'm truly honored. As Marvin said, I'm a junior at Macalester College right now. I'm studying computer science. And Marvin has had an idea relatively recently that he wanted the plaza to not just be something that you can come here to visit, but something that you can visit anywhere. Do I need the microphone closer to me? Is this okay? Thank you. And so Katie over there, hi Katie, she is working with the plaza. She's also a Macalester alumni. And she reached out to some folks at Macalester and asked if there was anybody, a student, that might be able to help make Marvin's idea come true of having a digital version of the bricks, the brick path that you'd be able to access online. Professor at Macalester named Gatirian Songo. He was here earlier. I think he needed to step away. He connected me with Katie and with Marvin, and I've been working with them for the past few months to make a website, which is a digital replica of the brick path. That QR code that you all see on the brochure, you're able to access that. On smaller screens, you can kind of scroll through the path vertically. On computers, you can go horizontally. And the idea is you can kind of click through that. The bricks that are shown up in red are the ones that have inscriptions on them. You can click on them to see the messages. You can click for some more information on that. On the computer, you're able to see it with all of the panels. On the phone, it just kind of like yellow squares that you can click on. And the idea is when you're here, you're able to kind of see what's around it, and hopefully with the filtering and search bars make it a little bit easier to find things. And then also when you go home, you can take the path with you. I've been working with the data set for like months now, and really all that I have is just the messages that all of you have been inscribing into the path. And I can't even begin to describe how cool it is to be able to put faces to those messages, and to really like be able to connect with the community in this way. I'm just really honored to be here and to be able to be a part of this. So I appreciate you all. And if you have any questions about the website, the database is still being worked on. If you see any missing or errors, you can feel free to let me know. There's also a way to fill that out on the site. We want to make sure that it's as accurate as possible, and that's a team effort. So thank you.
Now you can tell your friends where to go, and we can sell more bricks. I had absolutely no idea what he said when he started talking about database, but I've seen it, and it's really fantastic what he's done. So thank you, Jonah. And if you don't get an A in that class, come and see me. You've done a marvelous job. I have a special treat that I almost forgot. This book is called The House on Rondo. It's a story of a young girl who lived in a home, and the home was taken like other homes on Rondo Avenue during the time. The author of the book is Deborah J. Stone, and Deborah J. Stone is here right now. Would you come forward and get recognition about this wonderful, beautiful book?
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to practice the 3 Bs also because I know it's hot. I am the author of The House on Rondo, and my grandparents, who I visited every Sunday, lived on 841 Rondo. My mother grew up on Rondo. She went to Central High School and was married at St. Philip's Church. I was baptized there, and I was born in St. Joe's Hospital. This book has my heart. Unfortunately, none of my people are alive, but I wanted to honor them and honor the history of Rondo. And so I just want to read just a little bit from the jacket here. When 13-year-old Zenobia had to leave her friends and spend the summer at Grandma's while Mama recovers from a stroke, life seems so unfair. But then the eviction notices and letters start arriving throughout her grandparents' neighborhood, and a new world of unfairness unfolds before her. It's 1963, and Zenobia's grandparents' house on Rondo Avenue in St. Paul, like all the other homes in this thriving Black community, is targeted for demolition to make way for the new Interstate Highway 94. I will be at Black Garnet Books October 11th. The book will be made available there. And if you would like to hear me read in conversation with Melania Mangle, who is also a Rondo resident, I will be happy to sign your book. And I look forward to all of you coming. Thank you so much. Oh, my mother's name is Josephine Price. My family's name was Joe Price and Espinola Price. His brother Turner Price lived at 706 Rondo, and my mother's name was Josephine Price, and she married a North Side boy named Melvin H. Stone. And so that's why I had to come and visit Grandma, because our house was on the north side. But that river didn't mean a thing, because we all came on over. Thank you so much. Thank you.
One last one, we're going to look at the bricks. We've been talking about the past of Rondo, celebrating the past of Rondo, solidifying it in our hearts, in our minds, and on our panels, and on the bricks. Those who lived, loved, and died in our sweet Rondo community. Right now, I'm going to call on a young man who's going to tell you about the future of Rondo. ReConnect Rondo is the name of the organization. And Jerome, where are you? Jerome, come up talking about the future of Rondo. Give him an overview of what's in store.
Y'all can clap as I walk up. That's okay. How's it going? Good to see you all. My name is Jerome Richardson. First and foremost, I come as a Rondo descendant, a Rondo native. Born and raised in Rondo, spent time in Rondo and Frogtown. I'm a fourth generation Rondo white, and so I'm a Rondo baby to the core. You may know household names like Tom Brown if he's running around cutting your grass, or if he's shouting from across the street on Carroll Ave. Or you might know Officer Larry Brown if he was your basketball coach for Central Women's Basketball, or if you got in trouble with him with the law. Or Celeste Cardi, who is the daughter of Reverend Cardi, and so many other legends and living legends who have come before me. And so I'm so grateful to be able to be here as a byproduct, I would say, of many of those who have been before me and paved the way for the opportunities that I have today. One thing that stands out to me is this wall of fame, is this Hollywood star walk. And I would much rather get to know the names of the people on these bricks than those that are in Los Angeles in Hollywood. And so I'm grateful again for all of you who have contributed to my growth as a Rondo boy. I can see many of you out here like Anika and other folks who continue to kind of mold and shape me to be a leader in my community. And so what great honor it is to be here again I am community engagement coordinator for ReConnect Rondo, right? One of many organizations who are doing great things in the Rondo community, along with other organizations which I will be remiss to name, like R Code and Land Trust and Halley Q, et cetera, et cetera. And we are a restorative development movement. And what does the restorative development movement mean to us? It means that we are riding past wrongs, right, and driving forward this idea of economic development for our community. What does economic development mean? It is this African American cultural enterprise district. What once was an 80% Black population is still a thriving Black population. And so, ergo, it is a African American corridor, which is what we see in many other places like Little Africa and the west side of St. Paul and the Somali Mall and Hmong and Karen villages and markets on University. Don't we also deserve this African American corridor where we've sweated and tears and have sacrificed our lives and our homes and our businesses of over 500 and 700 to make our mark in history. So you may know us affectionately as the Land Bridge Project, but I'd submit to you that it is much more than a land bridge. It is a restorative development movement that we all should take part in. And I'm grateful to be a part of this movement and utilizing this idea, right? This idea, again, of a land bridge as a catalyst for possibility, but overall the entire footprint that we're hoping to continue to catalyst to be this futuristic, this Wakanda, if you will, of Rondo. So thank you all. Again, we have our open house. Our office space is located above the Mississippi Market on Selby and Dale. That'll be October 3rd. I have pamphlets and one-pagers that I'll pass out to you all as you all exit today. But we'd love to see you and get a chance to kind of pick your brain and talk to you and enjoy our open house that's happening at the Mississippi Market, which is the ReConnect Rondo headquarters. We'll also be presenting our entrepreneurship feasibility study, which talks about our ideas and our aspirations, as well as the historical harm as it relates to entrepreneurship in the coming weeks. So look forward to seeing you there. And again, thank you for giving me this space.
Unless there's someone would like to say something that I forgot to mention your brick, we have refreshments. And I like to introduce the people that have made this possible for the last couple of years and have really provided the support and the reason to come to work, because you're working with really wonderful people. So if all of those who've had a chance to work, would you come here so I can introduce you? Katie and Charlotte, Sedric. Come on.
Come on up.
This is Katie Frye. She is a graduate of Macalester College, and she's been working in our program for the last 2 years, and she's fascinating. We're very happy to have Katie here. That's Sedric McClure. He's also from the Macalester College. Sedric has worked with the program, and I've had the opportunity to work with a student from Macalester in some capacity here. We every year in the month of September, all of the incoming freshmen, over 400, they come on buses. They spend time here in the Rondo Commemorative Plaza, thanks to Sedric. He's doing a fantastic job. He's a great volunteer. Our newest volunteer is Charlotte Padilla. We are trying to collect every book, every essay, every article, every poem written about Rondo. We have been selected by the Minnesota Digitization Project. They are putting all of our books online. So you'll be able to go to a workstation and you'll be able to pull up houses in Rondo, people in Rondo, names in Rondo. And helping us getting our collection together is a recent graduate of St. Kate's University School of Library Science, Charlotte Padilla. So we're happy to have her on board to continue that very important work. And I can't think, Jim Hart there from our board. You met our centenarian, so thank you all for coming. We have some refreshments and treats here. Stay as long as you'd like. We want to thank you for coming again, and please, I'll see you here next year for the 9th annual engraved brick installation ceremony. Thank you for coming. Music. Music. Who's going to take pictures?